Okay, so the power steering pump right here on the 1.8 B6 seems to have a leak. The reservoir is empty, and there's a lot of wetness here, and clearly some fluid loss or buildup or gunk around the pulley area. Try to get a focus with this piece of shit camera, and it's not possible. Nonetheless, you should probably be able to see it down there. There's gunk along the pulley, around the shaft area there, and around the back of this this connection for the power steering fluid, this nut screw or whatever. It's like a ring connection, a typical hydraulic connection. The screw goes down through the middle of it. It's dry all along the back side, and there's some wetness up here at the top of the radiator hose. Right here, it's wet right here. It's like it's splattering there. And then down here, if you can look further down, see that shiny spot? There's some stuff building up down there. Seems like power steering fluid, because that seems to be like a power steering leak. But then again, it might be coming from the air conditioning compressor, because the air conditioning compressor has quite a bit of oil around it. You can see down in there that the AC compressor, trying to get the light set up here, is pretty much caked itself. This portion right here, if you can see that, is pretty much caked. So that shaft in that area there looks like it's caked as well in grease or oil or something. So go on there and take a look. There's quite a bit of disgusting oil on the bottom of the air conditioning compressor. And of course the oil pan has pretty much got oil or power steering fluid on it. I'm guessing it's oil. And like this lower coolant hose has oil on it as well, and also this intercooler pipe has oil on it, and also up there on the inside of that piece of framing, that frame piece, it's wet right there. It's wet on both sides. I know oil flows around in the intake air because it gets in there because of the PCV system and whatever. So I'm wondering if these hoses, like this intercooler hose, is spraying oil out of it. Shit, light set up. If you push on this, you can see there's oil in there. Like, kind of pushes oil out from around here. There's oil here on this nut. Looks pretty fresh. It looks like oil, but I'm wondering if it's power steering fluid or air conditioning oil, because it's wet right here. There's some splat right here. This is all pretty wet, and it's wet up here along this oil pan. But it's dry. It's dry on the exhaust side. There's no leaks on the exhaust side whatsoever. And there's oil on this H-frame. And there's some oil back there, up a little further back from the pulleys by the motor mount. And just getting a look up through here. Having a difficulty locating the actual object that's leaking. It's either power steering pump, compressed air conditioning compressor, or maybe it's a vacuum or like some sort of oil transfer hose further up, because this is where all the hoses are, above here. And I also have a very obvious power steering leak from the rack right here. like scorching hot. Right up here in the steering rack. Son of a bitch, I'm burning the shit out of myself right now. Yeah, basically right there. There's a leak right there, clearly.